All right, so we'll probably start out each lecture with the ending of a game. I'm a Tar Heel guy, and so this one actually hurt my heart, but it was an exciting game. So this is North Carolina and Villanova back in 2016.
Pressure. And right now, North Carolina just has to be solid on defense. That's it. No double teaming trapping. Just solid. Well, there's a perfect trap. Look at that. Oh, my goodness. Archie Diacono in the direction of Ochefu. Carolina's crawled back into it. A 10-3 stretch. Got it down low. Johnson backs it home. Gets down to one. Two here. Again, two rest of the way. Foul at what time? Coaches have the time, maybe 7 seconds or less to give it. Remember, Carolina has one timeout if it wants it.
Now, this is when you're talking about like late game situations, even from a defensive standpoint, Carolina elected to not guard the person that took the ball out of bounds right here. Right. And so this is, I want to say, did the same thing happen with maybe Duke and Kentucky when Christian Laettner made the crazy shot? We'll watch it. But I don't think they guarded Grant Hill out of bounds either. So it's just it's a philosophy thing.
Up the floor, I would say, look at the kid there.
Broke my heart. I really had a tough time going to work the next day. But yeah, man, crazy shot, NCAA tournament. And they didn't guard the inbounder. The inbounder comes up and they drive down hard, make the pitch pass, that pass back. We do that often in our transition, especially in our transition offense, where we come down, we make that pitch pass to the trailing four player. So, yeah, and he hit it. Great shot and a great moment in NCAA history. So from here, we'll go into our lesson today on the flex offense. All right, so like I said, today we're going to be going through the flex offense, talking about some of the benefits to it and maybe some disadvantages as well. And then we'll watch some video clips of teams that use the flex. All right, so some of the benefits. It's a continuity. You know, when I say continuity, it's a play that like keeps on going. So it's not like a set play that like has an end. Like this offense, you can always just keep it going, making the defense work. That's the beauty of continuity offenses. You just make the defense, they have to keep working, and hopefully, they'll make a mistake and you'll get a great shot out of it. It's something that gets everyone involved. I think, from my standpoint, from a coaching standpoint, when I think about my offensive philosophy, I want everybody on the court to be a threat, right? Like I want, and everyone's not going to always be the same threat, but everyone needs to be a threat. They need to be able to put the ball in the hole. And so this flex offense, again, it keeps the defense on its toes. If you got someone on the court that's not a threat, right? Like the defense they can really sag off, or they can more easily double team and things like that. But can ball watch, not necessarily have to worry about a particular person. And so with this offense, it gets everyone involved. So that means if everyone on the offensive side is involved, that means everyone on the defensive side is involved as well. And so we want the defense activated. We want everybody on the defense working. But the beauty of it getting everybody involved also is that, it's fun to play basketball when the ball touches your hands, So, we as coaches, we tell our guards, listen, man, you got to get that ball to the post sometimes. Like you have to do it. Like you want them to set good screens. You want them to rebound the basketball. You want them to fly up and down the court on rim runs and stuff like that. We got to get the ball in their hands. So, it's something where, like, again, it gets everyone involved. And when everyone feels involved, it's a lot more fun to play and more than likely a lot more fun to coach too. Easy to learn. It's a set pattern. Of course, there are different things that you can do off of it to make it a little bit more complicated, but for the most part, it's easy to learn. You'll see, I think this is a good offense. I know high school coaches that have really run the flex offense a lot for that very reason. One, it's a continuity, and then it's easy to learn. So because it is the same pattern over and over and over again, very, very easy for people to learn. Again, makes the defense work. That goes right along with gets everyone involved. If everyone is involved in the offense, then that means no one on defense is chilling. Like everybody that's on defense, they have to work. Also, like, just you'll see in a little bit once we go through the pattern, there are a lot of screens that are set, right? And so the defense, they're having to communicate, they're having to jump through screens. It uses essentially all of the floor. So, and everybody ends up in different positions. So that personal defense, they're going from the top to the bottom, having to fight through a screen for that. And then there's a screen coming across on the bottom, across screen. So both defenders are activated for that. Then that person that set the cross screen, they're going back up top. So it's a lot of movement, a lot of action, and the defense has to work. They can't just sit around and chill, because if they do, you're going to get a lot of easy baskets. And the harder we make the defense work, maybe that affects their offense, and they're not able to be as efficient on the offensive end. Controls the tempo, right? And so, especially when you're talking about like high school and not having a shot clock, man, you go down and you just run that flex. Defense finally get tired, they make a mistake, and boom, you're in position to score an easy basket. But same thing at the college level. When you feel like you are mismatched, one strategy that you want to use is you want to limit the amount of possessions, right? If a team is better than me, then I don't want to give them as many opportunities to score. So, one, I want to take care of the basketball, but another way to do that is just to, use all of your time that you have. All the time that you have to have the ball in your hands, use that time. And so it's like, hey, we not going to, unless we get a great shot, we running the shot clock down every single time to where we counting every single thing. 5, 4, 3. Like, that's when we want our shots to come. Years ago, Mississippi State, they upset UConn on the women's side. And they were one of the only teams that I saw that really, like, slowed it down to control the tempo. And that's what the flex can do for you. It can slow you down. And especially when you had that caveat, like, listen, unless we have a layup, I don't want a bad shot. I want a great shot. So unless we have a layup, we're not going to take a shot unless it's 10 seconds below the shot clock. And you can really just slow the game down. The other team might want to run. And once you do that, teams that like to run, they'll make a mistake because they're going to get tired of playing defense. They're going to tired of just sitting, of staying on one end of the court. They're going to gamble for a steal, and then you make them pay. Now, some of the disadvantages. It does have its disadvantages. With it being easy to learn, sorry, I just took a swig of my coffee. With it being easy to learn, it's also predictable, right? Like, the pattern part of it makes it easy to learn, but then it also makes it predictable. And so if it's easy to learn from the offense, it's going to be easy to kind of pick up for the defense too. So that's a disadvantage. And I would say everything that we go through here is going to have its advantages and disadvantages. And so it's just something that you got to be able to work through. And hopefully the advantages outweigh the disadvantages for your team. Your team is able to capitalize on the advantages. Then the defense is able to capitalize on the disadvantages. So yeah, it's predictable. That's a disadvantage to the offense. Teams may overpass, right? And so because the offense can create some like great shots, you might have teams that turn down good shots. right? They turn down good shots because they're always looking for the great shot, and it might not happen. And so teams can, in doing that, they might overpass, and again, that could lead, overpassing can lead to turnovers. Overpassing can lead to, you end up having to take, if you're in a shot clock situation, end up having to take a bad shot. Like you turn down some good shots, overpass, and now you in a situation where you have to take a bad shot because the shot clock is running down. So yeah, because of the pattern of it, and because of normally like the stipulations of what you're looking to get out of the offense, teams may end up overpassing at times. You need shooters. You need shooters because there's so many screens set, and you want post players, right? You'll see that they end up in kind of every spot, but you're gonna want post players that can shoot too, because when they come up, and you'll see like when they set, started off and they're setting this, if they set a cross screen, they're coming up off a down screen to the and if they can't shoot, the defender can kind of play back and not worry about them at the 3-point line area. But if they can shoot, now that post player has to come up, get through that screen, and get up there. And if them leaving that post area, now the lane is more open for people to make plays and drive and things like that. So, but you need shooters. You got to have shooters to come as they coming off those screens. If not, people are not going to respect those down screens, and they'll be able to clog the paint. But if you're able to have shooters, they have to respect those down screens, and the paint can't be clogged, and that's going to allow your other screening actions, going to allow things like that to open up, the cross screens and things like that. Could limit creativity, right? And so I think some of this is, let me see, how can I say this? Well, it depends on your team, right? It depends on your players. And sometimes, like if you have a special player, like you got to let them go, or you have to, and we'll see this in some of the clips, like you have to make it, you have to mesh the two, right? And so I'm a fan of continuity offenses, because as a coach, it gives me my level of, control that I feel that I need, especially in tight situations. But like, you want to be able to give your players room to kind of do the special things that they can do as well. But because of the predictability of this offense, it can limit creativity, right? It can, if you run this, especially in your situation in the college level where you are recruiting, you might have to recruit a specific type of player, in order for this to happen, because it doesn't allow for too much creativity to take place. All right, so some of the principles of the offense: great spacing, and this is so. Later on in the year, you're going to have an opportunity to kind of have your own, like make your own philosophy, your own offensive philosophies, your own defensive philosophies, things like that. And so the principles of those offenses are important. And so as you get into where you're going to start writing papers and things like that, like this is something to keep in mind when you want to defend your offensive philosophy. These are things to keep in mind. So you need great spacing. Again, you want to have great spacing. You want to have everyone. If you have great spacing and everyone's a threat, there's more room in the court that can be used. You spread the defense out. They're not able to pack it in, and it's going to allow for those cuts off those screens to really be open. So you need great spacing is definitely a key principle. You need good screeners. You need willing screeners, right? If when a good screen is set, somebody going to be open to get the ball. Now, normally, it's going to be the screener. A lot of times it's the screener, right? Because everyone focuses on the person come off the screen. But if a good screen is set, where there's contact, where the offense has the defense has to move around the screen, or they run into the screen, somebody's going to be open no matter how they guard it. So it's really important, because it's a screen-heavy offense. You got to have people that's going to set good screens. Willing screeners, but they're going to set good screens. You need hard cuts, right? So someone set a good screen, but you don't come off hard, you're not making the defense have to do anything. You have to make the defense do something. If they're able to get hit by a screen and recover, then all of this is to no avail. It's for nothing. So gotta not only have good screens, but the person coming off the screen got to come off hard, even if you're not getting the ball, right? Think about there have been some wide receivers from a football standpoint where it's like, when they're not getting the ball because of how they line up, because of how they come off the line. And so that's one less person you got to worry about, right? But the wide receiver that come off the line hard every single time, that defender's always engaged, and it can open up things for other people too. So it's important. Come off those cuts hard, because that's what's going to allow, when that good screen is set, coming off hard, that's what's going to allow someone to be open, whether it's the person coming off the screen or it's the person that set the screen. No standing, all right? No standing. Can't let the defense just sit still. Defense have to always be worried about either coming off a screen, trying to get through a screen, or having a show so that someone coming off a screen isn't open. So it can't be any standing. The ball has to move, and people have to be moving. Quick passing. Get that ball. Now, again, this is what we talked about earlier. One of the disadvantages is that people may overpass. But again, this is that no standing, quick passing, like all of those things go together. It's not a dribble heavy offense. It is a pass heavy offense. So that ball needs to move, and more than likely, coaches using this offense, if it goes on the floor, like it needs to be like in an attacking motion. No wasted dribbles in this offense. All right, so here's the basic pattern of the offense. Right. So just for if there's anyone who doesn't understand this diagram, the 1 is the point guard, 2 is the shooting guard, 3 is the small forward, 5 is the center, 4 is the power forward. Okay. So the 1 has the ball up here, and in these dotted lines, and I'm sorry, I should have given you I don't know if I gave you the diagram legend, but I'll explain it to you. So these dotted lines, they indicate a pass. These solid lines, they indicate movement, player movement, like a cut. And then this solid line with like this bar at the end of it represents a screen. Okay. So 1 passes to 2. As this is happening, 3 is coming off what we call a flex screen, right? And the flex screen really happens in combination. But when you talk about flex, the first part of that is going to be the cross screen right here. And so, boom, looking to get 4s clearing out over here, especially when this pass is made, they're clearing out because now their defender can't stay in there and help. The defender has to come over here. And this is where I would love for us to be on the court so we can kind of talk about these things, how when the pass is made, the defense has to shift, and why the timing and all those things are important. But once the ball comes over here to 2, 4 goes out. Their defender has to come out and respect that, right? Because they're going to be 1 pass away. And that's what opens up the lane for 3 right here. All right. So we're looking to get 3 there. Okay. If that's not open, now this is the flex part of it, right? This is the flex. Remember, flex screen is 2 parts. You have the cross screen that took place right here. And then right after the cross screen, 5 is coming up off of a down screen, right? And that screening combination in basketball is very is used a lot. Cross screen, down screen, cross screen, down screen. Like we just started putting in our screening defense, and we'll start putting in combinations probably next week or the week after. But this cross screen, down screen it's a combination that, from a defensive standpoint, that we'll go through a lot, because it's a combination that's used not in just the flex offense, but in a lot of offenses. If someone sets a cross screen, more than likely the next motion is going to action is going to be a down screen. So you have 5 right here, and you is coming to the elbow area, right? They can also, if they're a 3-point shooter, they can go to the 3-point line, right? But come to the elbow area, looking for a shot, looking to score. 1, after setting this cross screen, could flash up in the post, like a lot of different things that can happen there. More than likely, 3 is going to be getting out as this is happening. Okay. So we pass it to 5. 5 doesn't have a shot. So this is where the pattern, right? The continuity of the offense. Remember earlier, 4 got out, 3 comes across. Now ball's over here, 1 is getting out. Same thing's gonna happen on the other side of the floor. 4 is coming off a cross screen for 3. 5 is looking for 4. And again, like, this is the spacing aspect of it, right? Imagine if 1 stayed right here, then their defender's going to be there too. But 1 spaces out. So you see, look at all this great spacing that's happening right here. All right. The offense is well spaced. That means the defense has to be spaced out too, which allows for more of these opportunities right here. A great screen. If a great screen is set here, then we're gonna have some good things to happen in this area of the court right here. All right. So we got the cross screen, and then it starts all over again. Sorry, let me go back. You have this cross screen, and then what would happen here? If 4 didn't get the ball, 2 will be going down to set this down screen for 3. 3 will come up, and it all starts all over again. All right. Now that's the basic pattern. The cool thing is about basketball, especially when you're running a continuity offense, is that there are different entries, right? And so some ways to kind of help disguise what you are doing is it's just to make it look a little bit different, right? Make it look a little bit different to disguise your pattern, right? And so here we start out kind of like with a two people up top, 3 down low, right? Now this is a 1-4 low entry, so 1 person out top, and then you have 4 people down low. And so one way, again, making it just look a little bit different is the post option. So 4 will come up this lane line here. They will cut up. The pass is made. This and really once you get here, as you can see, it is right where we are, where we started with this basic pattern. You got your 2 people up, you got your 3 people down low. So yeah, same thing happens now when 4 comes off. 2 comes off this cross screen, 1 sets a down screen for 5 to come up, right? And so you have your 1-4 low, and it's just a couple different ways that you can get right back into your flex offense, make it look a little bit different. That was the post option. Now you have the wing option, where you start out 1-4 low. The 1 dribbles up. They make this pass over here to the 2, and then we have what we call, this is the UCLA. So again, with your quiz, this is some of the terminology. This is the UCLA screen, UCLA cut. That's where the UCLA is when the ball is passed to the strong side wing. Strong side is the side that the ball is on, so it's made to the strong side wing because the ball is on the right side here. And then the post player or someone comes up and set this back screen, and normally this person cuts on the inside to set it up, and then they cut to the outside to the strong side of the screen, looking to get an easy score there, right? So you make this wing pass, you look for UCLA, you don't get it, 5 pops out, and again, if a good screen is set here and this defender has to wait for a second, especially if you have this 5 that can shoot, they set a good screen, this defender has to show for a second so that 1 doesn't get an easy pass back for a layup. Man, 5 pops out there, they got the room they need, they can shoot it, that's a 3, they're gonna knock that down, right? So that's one way to get into it. Now, once the ball goes to the 5, if 1 doesn't get it for a layup, they stay right there. Ball goes to the 5. They don't have a shot. They make a pass, a pass over to the 4. 2 runs off of this cross screen. 5 goes down. They set the down screen for the 1, and you're right back in your flex. If 2 doesn't receive the ball, 4 make a pass back over here to 1. Now 3 comes off the cross screen for 2. 4 sets a down screen for 3. I meant for 2, right? So different way to get into it. 1-4 high, same thing. The difference is like 1 here, 4 high. Remember the last one we had 1 here, 4 low. Difference is they start high. Instead of that person, cutting up to the top, to the slot area, they're going to start high, come in, same thing can happen, dribble over, make the pass, UCLA cut, and then you're right in the offense. So again, just a different way to get into the offense. You have your post option. So 1 for a high, 1 has the ball, 5 pops out, they make a pass over to 5, 4 dives down to the opposite block. 5 gets the ball here, they can look for 4. 4 can get down here and they can post up, right? So this is an option. Look for 4. 4 doesn't get it. 5 is going to make the pass over to 1. 2 comes off the cross screen. 5 sets the down screen, and boom, you're right back in it. So many different ways, easy ways to get into the flex. For the most part, again, it is predictable, but you can get really good at running this stuff, and it can be something good again for youth, for high school, things of that nature. And now we're gonna watch some teams that use the flex offense and how they're able to kind of make it look a little bit get a little bit more creativity out of it. So this is the Maryland flex offense. We'll see here. So they start here with down screens. And then right from the down screen, again, let's go back. Start with the down screens. Ball enters on this side. So now they'll start their flex action where this person will come off this cross screen over here. Cross screen. And they find them. Easy basket. So look at it again. Here. This person right here, they go around the screen. They don't show long enough. Easy pass, easy basket. That's like the base flex motion. Right, here's another like a little different look. So they start off weak side, ball's on that side. So weak side, we have a down screen over here. Notice up top over here in this left corner, they're getting ready to start the flex action. So we got the cross screen here, and they find them again, and that's a goaltend, easy basket here. Cross screen, they go over the top, boom, easy basket. Right. Again, starting with the cross screens, and here they switch it up a little bit. So again, this is where, like especially at the collegiate level, where they're gonna make it a little more spicy. So they make the same pass. It's all starting to look the same. Instead of him setting this cross screen, he steps up to set a flare. Right, and now we get this person going downhill. Right, they make the shot, but it's just a different action out of it. And doesn't go to set the cross screen, comes up, set the flash screen. Probably could have set a little bit better. Probably could have set a little bit better screen. Could have come off it, gotten a little bit higher there. But again, he's going downhill, and gets a shot, gets a different type of shot off. All right. So here, now this is their scoring guard. Starts off down here again with the down screens. And now he's going to curl it. He's just going to go right into a scoring action. All right, let's see that again. Down screen, curls it, go right into a scoring action. And I'm sorry, let me go back. Go back a little bit. Notice over here, if he doesn't go like the score, they're setting up to do the cross screen right here. So if he catches this and he doesn't have a shot, he doesn't drive, this cross screen is going to happen right away. Look how he's setting up, but then he decides to drive, and so they abandon the cross screen for spacing purposes. All right, here again they start with the down screen over here, and this is their scoring guard. I think this is Grievous Vasquez, but he comes off of it, going right into the shot. So that's where that freedom, that creativity, where they're doing things to get still in their flex continuity, but they're doing things to get their score some options. Again, start with the down screens. Boom, right into the cross screen down here. Pass it back. Now this is just that continuous, that continuity portion of it, right? Pass it back. And notice, like from a spacing standpoint. So after this cross screen, he's looking to post right here. He doesn't get it. He has to get out of there, right? He has to get out of there. They pass it back. Continue still on the cross screen. Not setting great screens here, but they're getting the motion that they want. And then because of the spacing aspect of things, all right? So because of the spacing, he can attack. Now they're going to space the floor even more because now he's going to set a flare screen right here for this person over here. All right. Well, he was going to set the flare screen, but he could have easily stepped up, set that flare screen. So that's where you allow you have your offense that you're going to run, but you're going to allow your best players to kind of make plays. Right. Then and then they get the foul call there. Start with the down screen again. And then this is that flare action that we saw earlier. All right. So he's setting up down here on this weak side, like they're about to set the cross screen. Nope. They go right into it to set this flare. Again, if they set a good screen, they're able to get an easier shot off. Get the shot off, right? But could have gotten an easier shot off with a better screen there. And I think we have one more play here. Starting with the down screens again. All right. Cross screen over here. And then this is just like one of your best players just going to make a play. Didn't make a very good play, but again, that's that creativity where you're going to allow your best players to run the offense, but again, try to make things happen as well. So he comes down, he makes the pass, they make the immediate pass back, and you can kind of have like a two-man game over here with this person clearing out that leaves more space and, to make a play. And he just wasn't able to make a play. He went to make a play, but he just wasn't able to make a play. But this is, again, just another option out of it where talking about running a offense that is very pattern-based, very predictable, but a coach that's allowing one of his best players to just play basketball out of it too, using the spacing in order to kind of make things happen, right? So this is a flex offense. Our next lecture next week, we will go over the motion offense, and then from there, I think we'll have you write a paper on these, kind of discussing the two differences, the similarities and differences between both offenses, and then detailing which one you prefer and why you prefer it. So yeah, I'll post this up as an announcement, and if you have any questions or anything like that, just reply to the announcement, and we can kind of, if we need to, we can have a discussion or keep the the dialogue open on the lecture. But that's all for this week. The next lecture should be posted by Monday or Tuesday of next week, and then your paper more than likely will be due a week after that lecture is posted. All right. Have a great week. Don't hesitate to reach out if you need anything.